see my keys?
One drink, okay?
Bottoms up.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2014 found footage horror Creep. The film is co-written and directed by Patrick Bryce, who also stars in the film as Aaron, and it also stars Mark Duplass as Joseph, who also co-wrote the film. Right, the film focuses on a character called Aaron, who answers like an ad in a newspaper, and it's quite a unique ad. It advertises somebody to come and film for $1,000 a day, I think it is, something like that. So he answers the ad, goes out to meet this person. He has no idea who it is, and it turns out to be Joseph. Now, Joseph basically says to Aaron, he's dying. He's got like a tumour. He's like a cancer survivor, but it's come back. He's got a tumour in his head, and it's terminal. And he wants Aaron to film him so that he's got like a record to show his unborn son, because he's basically saying that his wife's pregnant, he's got an unborn son on the way, and he wants to kind of document some of his life to leave something for his unborn son. So Aaron, of course, agrees to this, and then almost immediately Joseph basically starts acting in a really creepy way. It's just subtle, in subtle ways to start with. It's just the way he communicates, in conversations, he's a little bit off kilter, he's a little bit weird in how he communicates and how he has these conversations, and it just slowly but surely builds and builds and builds until Aaron gets a real sense that something's just not right and he needs to get out of there. Right, what are my thoughts on Creep? Well, this is one of those films that you kind of feel a little bit embarrassed about, really. I'm a huge fan of found footage, and I've not seen the Creep films yet, which might seem a little bit odd to you guys, especially if you watch my content and you know how much of a found footage fan I am. I've always had these on my watch list to watch, and I've only just basically recently managed to watch this one, the first one, Creep. I know it's got a good reputation, so I've not had any issues with not watching it or anything like that. That's just the way it has been. I've never got a chance to see it yet. However, after watching it, I could see really what the fuss is about. This is a really tremendously made film. That really, I mean, it's a really apt title, Creep, because Joseph really is a creep, but the film constantly creeps you out. I mean, it's full of cringe moments, it's full of creepy moments, and it's very clever dialogue. It's very cleverly written, and it's very well acted, especially by Mark Duplass that plays Joseph. A really creepy character. It feels, you can't get away from saying it. It's a character that just absolutely gets under your skin and doesn't stop once he's under there, just keeps burrowing. The stuff that he says just constantly creep you out. What's the worst thing you've ever done? He has like a conversation with it at the table, like, what's the worst thing you've ever done? And and Aaron opens up, and then when it's Joseph's turn, he admits to filming him in a really creepy way and stuff, and it's just like you want to scream at the screen, Aaron, run for your life, you are in deep trouble. And even when the character of Aaron kind of does what you're screaming for him to do, it gets worse. You'd think he's safe, and he's not. The creepy things get worse. It becomes a stalker, and it's just like, oh my God, he's in real trouble here. And it feels like it never dwells too far out of the realism, if you like. You kind of believe that this guy Joseph could be real. This could be a real person. It's not played over the top. He's not played like a pantomime villain or anything like that. He's just played like a pretty weird guy who, as the film progresses, his personality becomes darker and darker and more sinister and more sinister. You know, many of us either work with or know somebody like Joseph, and I don't mean, you know, the really dark side of it, but the weird guy or the person or the weird woman or the, you know, the one where you have a conversation with them and you kind of scratch your head thinking, what on earth are they talking about? That was really odd. That was really creepy. And it's very, very smart how they have done that, in a sense of made him feel grounded and believable, but at the same time freaks you out in a huge, huge way. I really enjoyed this. I was seriously on edge watching it because you didn't know what was coming next. You didn't know what Joseph were going to do, and you really wanted Aaron to kind of just get out of there, basically. And then the ending was just wow. I suppose it was inevitable, the ending that we got, but it still managed to shock me. And then when the curtain is lifted and it's revealed who Joseph really is, and what he's done previously, you just kind of like, well, it was like a lamb to a slaughter sort of thing, you know what I mean? And quite literally, you know, he has a wolf mask in this thing, so it's no coincidence that he sees himself as a predator, if you like, as a wolf, and the people that he brings to him are the sheep. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. As I've said, I think it's incredibly smart writing. It's one of those found footage films that kind of does everything right. Yeah, you could argue there's a couple of moments where you're kind of like, would they be filming at this point? But you kind of forgive it because the whole thing is so compelling, and you're just kind of at the edge of your seat watching it, wondering what's coming next, how it's going to end. What's Joseph going to do? How far is he going to take it? And there are many moments in the film where you kind of like, it's going to happen now. He's going to jump out, and it doesn't. So it completely has hold of you as an audience member, this one. And I thought it was a really smart piece of filmmaking. So for me, I was deeply impressed with this one. If you still haven't seen Creep yet, give it a go. I'm quite looking forward, certainly now, to checking out the second one. So leave me some comments, guys. What are your thoughts on Creep? Let me know what your thoughts are on the sequel as well. And I will, of course, be back with loads more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.